Hey everyone, it's eneko here, back with another Friday talking one-on-one video, whatever you want to call it. Today's topic is how to improvise on the piano. I just want to say that I know the title of this video says how to improvise, but it's really going to be how to learn how to improvise, because if I show you a very specific way of how to improvise, you'll only do it that way and you won't really break free for a long time and explore improvisation on your own. Improvisation is a very beautiful thing. You can play for hours on end without stopping. There are no mistakes. It's just what pleases your ear and how far you want to go. And that's the most exciting part for me. That's what I love about it most. I still have a long way to go, but I've learned a lot, and I want to show you what path I took learning how to improvise, and maybe that can influence the way you start or just serve as a little bit of insight. So basically how my improvisation journey started was with embellishment. I learned a lot of pieces from Ludovico Einaudi, and in his music, he would always play the same piece differently every time. He would add trills, he would add arpeggios, different notes, passing notes, all this stuff, and it would just make the music so much more exciting every time you heard it. And I was actually very inspired with that I tried it on my own, on his pieces, adding trills, adding whatever, not playing certain notes, playing more notes, adding more, and improvising out of it into my own melodies. And it does take time, it does take practice. I feel like that's the best way to start, because while it's not completely improvisation, it very smoothly transitions into full improvisation. You start with embellishment, and then if you're a composer, you can embellish your own pieces and then improvise melodies out of that, and so on. As of quite a while ago, actually, all my compositions have spawned from just improvising and landing on something that really pleases my ear and that really makes me happy, and then I just go off of that. There's no specific formula to improvising. Nobody can tell you something, show you something, and that's how you do it, and then you'll just improvise that same day, and you'll create whatever you want. It does take time, but the easiest way to do it is to just literally find your own way to do it. I'm not trying to tell you how to do it, I'm just trying to provide insight on how I did it, and maybe that inspires you in some way, or it just serves as what it is, which is insight. So for me, how I started was embellishing off of other pieces, and then when I was composing my own pieces, I would embellish off of my own pieces, and then eventually I got to a point where I could just sit down at any piano, anywhere, with no sheet music in front of me, with no nothing, and just play whatever I wanted for how long I wanted. And that's the most beautiful thing about improvisation. You can just go to any piano and you don't have to say, oh, I forgot my sheet music, or, I lost the muscle memory for this, and you can just play and bring joy to millions of people. Now, there are various ways you can start besides embellishment if you want to just start with the raw improvisation. One thing I like to do, and sorry if this sounds a little bit technical, but say you're playing in D major. You can play a D major chord in root position, and then if you move the two top notes up one to the G major in second inversion, that is the easiest way to transition between two chords, and you should not worry about time signature. Don't limit yourself to 4/4, 3/4, 2/4, 6/8, whatever. Don't limit yourself, just play what you want when you want it. Basically how I started was I took my favorite key, which is D major or A major, and I would play the D major chord, and then literally whatever I wanted, diatonically, which is in the key, I would just play it in whatever sequence I want. And this is another thing. Don't be afraid to play notes. You have to commit. You have to just keep going. Do not stop. Even if you play a note that doesn't sound good to you, keep going. That's the one thing I urge you to do, is to just keep going. Do not stop. That's what makes you improve your improvisation faster. So I would play a D major chord, play whatever I wanted, and whenever I felt like it, I'd switch to that G major second inversion chord. I'm not trying to sound too technical. You can play whatever chords you want with whatever notes you want. I'm not trying to limit you. Music's not trying to limit you. You should not feel limited. So that's pretty much what I did, and then eventually I was able to break up the chords, and one thing that really helps is just other pieces that you've learned. You can see where the notes are with certain chords, and that's where the embellishment comes from, because you can just take it off into your own little way. And that comes with day-to-day practice of just not stopping. That's the biggest thing that trumps a lot of people are starting to learn improvisation, is that whenever they hit a certain note that may not sound as good as they would have liked, they stop. But you just have to keep going. And that's why you shouldn't worry about time signature, because the second you're half of a beat off, you just say, well, that was pointless and there's no point of doing this anymore. So don't limit yourself to 4/4, 3/4, like I said. Whatever. Do not limit yourself. Just start easy and then you'll progress, and pretty soon you'll be playing arpeggios, you'll be playing really fast scales, you'll be playing da-da-da-da-da. Another thing that improvisation does is that it really improves your ear. You'll get a better sense of where the notes are on the piano and what sounds like what. And if you're a composer like me, you'll end up accidentally composing pieces of other songs because they just sound so familiar. And it actually makes me kind of proud of myself when I do that, because I know that my ear is improved, and sometimes I like to mess around and just come up with a small little mini arrangements of other songs that I like. And yeah, it's a very fun thing to do for me. So that's all I have to say. I hope it helps you out in some way. Just don't limit yourself. That's my biggest tip, is just don't limit yourself. Don't say, well, I can't improvise if it doesn't have a beat. Like, yes, you can. That's what improvisation is. So please, just don't limit yourself. Don't put boundaries. Don't put limitations. Just go. Just don't stop. Even if it doesn't sound good. I can't tell you how many times I've played notes in certain sequences that just, they make you cringe a little bit, but you just have to keep going, and that's where you improve, because in improvisation, you have to keep going. Now, there are certain situations, say if you work for a certain company, if you're a ballet pianist or anything like that, you will have to keep a specific time signature when you improvise. But what I can attest to is that if you learn first without worrying about time signature, once you get to a certain level where you can just play whatever you want, whenever you want, you'll actually be better at intuitively imposing time signatures. Trust me, you will. You got this. You got it. You can do it. You can do whatever you want. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe for more, and I have a big announcement. For the entire month of August, you will be seeing a YouTube video every day. The Friday videos will stay the same. I will just be adding improvisations every other day of the week, once a day, and at the end of the month, I will compile those improvisations into a back-to-school study playlist that I hope you guys will use, because school is starting soon, and you'll need something to keep you busy while you do your homework. And I want to help with that too. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are all safe and well and happy, and I hope music is having a very positive impact in your lives, and I will catch you on the first day of August with an improvisation.